graduation, or Magic City?
Meet Tyveon Campbell.
I will be attending Georgia State University this fall.
She says she'd been telling friends, family, and even classmates for weeks that for graduation at Chicago Tech Academy High School, her exit was going to be memorable.
Yes, I gave many warnings. I told my friends, family, and I told my peers, my teachers, I said I'm going to do a split on stage, but no one took me serious. And when I did it, everyone was shocked.
She followed through. After walking across the stage at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, Campbell waved to the crowd, dropped it into a split with a dance move, popped back up to accept her diploma, except it never came.
I did a pretty princess wave, did my split, got back up, and I tried to reach for my diploma, and I didn't get it.
Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. You can support uncensored conversations via Cash App or buying your girl a coffee. I just want to give a quick shout out to my first Faye ambassador. Shout out to Nefertiti. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you guys want to sign up for memberships or sign up to be an ambassador as well to receive a shout out, the link will be in the description down below. Hey y'all, I just want to pop in here and have a conversation about this viral topic going around about a high school graduate who got on stage and popped her thought pocket in a split. Now, you guys should already know. If you've been watching the channel, then you should already know pretty much where I stand on this issue, but let's go ahead and get into it. This is a graduation, not a nightclub. If you wanted to bust out into a split to celebrate, you could have did that off stage. You could have did that off stage. You could have did that around your friends or your family, your personal family, but the fact that you took time out of everybody else's celebration of the graduation to pop your booty in a split in a sexualized manner in front of everybody's grandparents, parents, siblings, folks that in a general sense just don't want to see that, especially from a child. You're at a high school event and you're popping your booty in a split. Inappropriate, just absolutely inappropriate. This is the type of behavior that you see on stage at like a concert or at, a bar. This is not behavior that you see at a school event. High school graduation is supposed to be a formal event, meaning there are ways you're supposed to behave, ways you're supposed to dress, and when you go to certain events, you have to adjust for that event. I'm not going to go to high tea dressed in a poster girl dress. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to high tea in a poster girl dress with a bonnet on. No, absolutely not. You're supposed to dress and behave for the occasion. Now, the way she was dressed, perfectly fine. No issues there. The behavior is also important. This was a high school graduation, not Magic City, not some music video. It's not just enough that she busted out the split. It's the booty popping that went along with it, right? Because I don't think people would be as upset if it was just a regular split. But no, you added the booty popping to the split. That changes it entirely. Because think about like cheerleaders, okay? Cheerleaders, they're notorious for doing splits, but understand they don't pop their booty when they do it. At least they're not supposed to. The whole point of graduation day is for you and your classmates to be celebrated for completing the feat of graduating high school. Personally, I call into question a lot of these graduates because a lot of y'all can't even read. You see these videos where people are handing young folks note cards, people that are in college, you're handing them a note card and they can't read it to save their lives. Or even high school students, you're handing them the note card and they cannot read it to save their lives. Honestly, I believe that a good portion of a lot of those kids probably shouldn't be graduating in the first damn place because a lot of them probably can't read. And I'm not just saying that because they're black. I'm saying across the board, a lot of folks just cannot read. So the standards for graduating high school are all the way in hell. So I'm more concerned with the fact that a lot of them are probably graduating when they shouldn't, based on standards that are much lower than they should be. But I digress.
I'm reporting here to talk about my discrimination.
Wait.
I've come here to talk about how I've been wrongfully done at Chicago Tech Academy and how I didn't receive my diploma because I did a split on stage. Now, a quick backstory. I've been telling these people for weeks that I was going to do a split on stage. It was not a surprise. They just thought I was joking. And that's the problem now. Don't think I'm joking because I'm not. So yeah, I did my split on stage and I walked across and it was an area where you're supposed to take pictures with your diploma. And the person who was handing out my diploma, she was just looking slow. Well, excuse me, not slow. But she was standing there looking crazy. So I'm like, babe, what are you doing? Hand me my diploma. And she's like, I honestly thought that they mixed up my name and didn't have my name in the right order. I didn't even think that she was purposely not trying to give me my diploma at first. And then everyone's telling me, oh, just go back and get it, go back and get it. And I'm like, wait, you're telling me to go back and get the diploma? And she's telling me to keep walking. So what do y'all want me to do? So I was just confused. I ended up keep walking across the stage, and I was standing there for a minute. I was standing there like, I'm not moving until I get my diploma. I'm not moving until I get my diploma. Why didn't you give me my diploma? So I ended up sitting down. Long story short, everybody's like, sit down, sit down. So I had a seat. I went, sat down, whatever. After I sat down, I was escorted out of the graduation ceremony, and I was taken outside by a dean. And I was met with my principal, Shackleford, Miss Shackleford, Zatea Shackleford to be exact. And I was met out there, and she was beyond angry, like livid. It was genuine tears in her eyes, and her mouth was shaking. She was really, 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 really upset. And she's like, you need to figure out a way how you're gonna make up for this. You're not getting your diploma until you figure out a way how you're gonna make up for what you just did. And I'm like, wait, I have to figure that out, or do you have to figure that out? So yeah, this was honestly just a confusing experience. Long story short, I ended up leaving. I didn't even get to do the left to right or right to left with the graduation cap because I was really upset. And then to end this off, the next line of students who went, a girl went up that stage and did so let me tell y'all something. That girl still received her diploma and everything. But my act, the whole world shook. So yeah, it's been countless of times where I've been punished more than another student just because of me. I think the school has something personal against me. Why? I have no idea. I think it's because I'm happy, I'm glowing, I'm always outgoing, and most of all, I have money.
You're there to celebrate the fact that you graduated high school. And rather than walking across the stage and respecting the environment, respecting your peers, respecting the family and friends that came to celebrate this event, you make it about yourself. You make it entirely about yourself. If you listen to her speak, she said she was planning this the whole time. Yeah, I told them I was gonna do split and do. Main character syndrome. You want it to be all about you, and honey, it's not. That is an event to celebrate everybody. If you wanted to do this whole booty pop and split, you could have did that at your own graduation party when they celebrated you, specifically you. But no, it's the incessant need to colonize the attention of everybody by doing something that you know is outrageous. You know it's outrageous. That's why you did it, because you wanted the attention. So rather than focusing on the accomplishment, focusing on your future, focusing on all the hard work, and I say that in air quotes because we don't know, a lot of these kids are skating by. This should be a moment to celebrate all of that. Not drawing unnecessary attention to yourself through a behavior that would be more appropriate at a strip club, that would be more appropriate at a club in general.
Are we really kicking students out of graduation now for being a little too excited? All right, so check this out. 18-year-old Tyveon Campbell, she just graduated from Chicago Tech Academy with a 3.5 GPA, and she plans to attend Georgia State University this fall. So she's a smart girl, all right? As she walked across the stage, she waved to her family, and she dropped into a split to celebrate. The crowd went wild. They loved it. They cheered. But the school officials, not so much. Tyveon says that when she reached for her diploma, they wouldn't hand it to her. She was reportedly escorted out of the actual ceremony and later told she needed to think of a way to make up for what she had done because she made the moment about herself. Yet it's her that's graduating from high. Okay, never mind. But here's where the debate actually starts. Tyveon says that there was no written rule prohibiting students from doing celebratory moves on stage, which is a big deal. School officials have not publicly explained why her diploma was actually withheld. So look, maybe some people think graduation should be formal, and that's fine. Others think that after surviving 4 years of high school, which could be terrorizing, you've earned the right to celebrate just for a few seconds. But withholding a diploma over a split, That's where a lot of people are saying the punishment actually doesn't match the crime.
Understand, this is a straw man, okay? This is what these so-called supporters are doing. Oh, you're just upset that she's celebrating? Oh, she just did a split. They are creating a straw man because they know that if they described exactly what she did, most people would not agree with it. Most people would not be okay with that type of behavior. So they have to construct a straw man in order to make their point seem valid. And I also find it very disgusting that you have grown men also supporting this, also saying it's not that big of a deal. Of course, your disgusting ass thinks it's cute. Of course, your disgusting ass thinks that it's appropriate for a high schooler to pop her butt in front of a crowd full of folks. Of course, you, as a disgusting degenerate yourself, feel like that's okay. Of course. The issue isn't that she celebrated, because I love a good celebration. You know, you could do the little fist in the air and shake it around like, yeah, I did that. There are so many other ways that you can celebrate on that stage without making a complete spectacle of yourself, disrespecting the audience. There are so many other ways, but the way she chose to do it, absolutely classless, and it shows that just because you come from money doesn't mean that you have class. The amount of money you have does not determine whether or not you have class. Class is all in how you carry yourself. You could be somebody that does not have much, but with what you do have, you move with a sense of class about yourself, with a sense of decency. Whereas you have folks out here that are millionaires and they have all sorts of money and they behave like actual hooligans. They behave like complete heathens, no regard for the environments they're in, and they're just ratchet. They're ghetto. They have no decorum for wherever they are. They disrespect the venues that they go to with their behavior and how they show up. Class is not something that's hidden behind a paywall. Despite her coming from a family that is well off, she still was classless, at least in this moment. Black women, come to the front of the class. We do not have to sexualize every little thing that we do. I see this time and time again. It doesn't matter what the situation is. You could have something as serious as a protest, and you will have black broads over there shaking their tail for justice. Get your booty to the polls. I'm sad, so I'm gonna shake my butt. I'm mad, so I'm gonna shake my butt. Not everything needs to have a sexualized response to it. And one thing that I've noticed is that some people think any criticism of overtly sexual behavior is somehow you're trying to oppress me or you're anti-black. Well, why are you aligning that behavior with blackness? That's one. Number two, if it's wrong, it's wrong. It's not oppression to say that you need to act accordingly given the environment that you're in. You wouldn't want to throw an event and then somebody shows up acting out of pocket at your event. There is a time and a place for everything. And if she wanted to do that little booty split, she wanted to do that, she could have did that at a completely different moment off the stage. And nobody would give a damn. I surely wouldn't. If she was off stage doing that in front of her friends and her family, I wouldn't care. I genuinely wouldn't care. But the fact that in a moment where you're supposed to celebrate your excellence, you're choosing to celebrate like a Magic City stripper, it just goes to show like where the priorities and the mindset truly is. People are bringing sexually suggestive behavior into spaces where it simply does not belong. Graduation, schools, workplaces, family events, protests. And not every accomplishment needs to be celebrated through behaviors designed to attract unnecessary or the wrong type of attention. Because you can't tell me that her busting out in the split and popping her booty wasn't for the attention of people to look at her ass. So we're supposed to be celebrating your intellect, but you want us to look at your ass. That's another part of the problem. Self-control is a thing. Anybody can do whatever pops into their head. Maturity is knowing when not to. Adults understand the different environments and have different expectations. But see, this is what I'm saying. A lot of folks are walking around with the mentality of a child. And clearly here, even though you're graduating high school and you should be in that transition from a child mindset into that of an adult, we're still behaving like children. The question isn't, could I do it? The question is, should I do it? And the answer should have been no. She knew she could do it, but the fact of the matter is she shouldn't have. The person who denied her the diploma was a black woman. It was a black woman holding a standard for a black girl. It's us policing our own behavior, as it should be. And kudos to Miss Shackelford. kudos to her for having a standard. Because at the end of the day, the reason why the Black community is in the position that it is because we don't have standards for ourselves. It's because we allow our degenerates to run around and make the rest of us look crazy as hell. And we don't hold them accountable because, oh my God, white supremacy. We don't hold them accountable because we see white folks commenting on it and we feel the need to defend it, even though deep down inside we know it's wrong. Well, just because the white people are going against it, that means I need to support it. Hell, no, it doesn't. I only support the things that are intrinsically good. For instance, I am not going to be one of those people that says, oh, just because you have locks or just because you have braids, that is somehow inappropriate, or just because you are wearing the natural texture of your hair, that is inappropriate. Absolutely not. There are lines in the sand that I'm willing to hold firm on. When it comes to things like this, oh no, intrinsically it's bad. Overall, this young woman is suffering from main character syndrome. She wants everybody to be thinking about her. And that is such a childish mentality to have, for everything to be about you. That just shows that you haven't graduated from the mindset of understanding that other people have desires, other people have standards, that you share society with other people. When you think it's all about you, you make the graduation ceremony all about you. But see, here's the thing, the graduation ceremony is not about one student. It's about all of them. So when you have the mentality of, I'm gonna steal the show with my booty split, then understand you are disrespecting the other students that are there. You're disrespecting the staff. You're disrespecting the school itself. This is Chicago Tech Academy High School. You're making the school look bad because then they're like, okay, well, y'all are graduating folks like this? Y'all are graduating scrippers in the making? Like, this is what y'all putting out there? You're embarrassing the entire school, the staff that works there. And not only that, you're embarrassing your family, whether they acknowledge it or not. Education is more than just a GPA, because what they're going around and saying, well, she had a 3.5 GPA, means she was intelligent. Well, I already told you guys, the bar for education is extremely low. Every public action sends a message. The message here wasn't, I value education. The message was, look at my rear end. And it's sad because as Black women, we talk extensively about how we are often objectified, we're often sexualized. Even when it comes to the little girls in the community, we often talk about how they are sexualized in a way that is not fair to them. We can't have it both ways. We can't complain about the sexualization of little Black girls, of Black women, and then behave in sexualized manner. It doesn't work that way. You can't speak out both sides of your mouth. You have one mouth for that very reason. So I understand why the principal reacted the way that she did, because as a Black professional, we work hard to present ourselves in a way that speaks to that professionalism, that challenges negative stereotypes. That's why we become very frustrated when stuff like this happens, because it reinforces the very stereotypes used to keep us at the bottom, to justify us being at the bottom, to justify harm being done to us, to justify them looking at us as always being the Jezebel, as always being overly sexualized.
Looking at the situation with the graduation girl, right? So what pissed me off the most about the situation is, first of all, twerking and hitting a split, those are sexual acts. As a father, I don't want my daughter doing neither of those. Either, whatever the word is. Secondly, the other thing that pissed me off is the video she made. When she made the video, she was kind of like sweet in the beginning. Then she turned to an asshole. Like, it went 0 to 100. Because in the beginning, she's like, I wanted to discuss my discrimination. It's not discrimination. It's not. Because, like, when she get on stage, if I'm not mistaken, all those people are Black. And when she does the action, the Magic City split, all the black dude, like, the light-skinned dude's like, the lady with the red on, she's like, why you do that? Like, they're all like, you're making us look bad as a whole, and you did that.
My issue isn't the fact that she celebrated. My issue is the fact that the way she celebrated was extremely inappropriate for the event that she was at. For the principal to demand that she atone for that behavior, kudos to her. Absolutely. When you embarrass your school like that, when you embarrass your family like that, when you embarrass yourself like that, yes, you need to atone for that behavior. Or else you're going to continue to behave that way moving forward. There will be no lesson learned.
Hear about the high school graduate that got denied her diploma because she hit a split on stage, y'all? Yeah, it sounds insane because it is. So let me catch y'all up right quick. This happened in Chicago too, by the way, y'all. Her name is Tyveon Campbell too. Y'all know it's graduation day. Tyveon, she's 18. She's graduating from high school. This is supposed to be a memorable day. You happy to get up out of there and be going to the next phase in life, whether that's college, trade school, starting your own business, whatever it is. They called Ty to the stage, and you know, it's that time to walk across. You know, everybody do their big one. I done seen people do all different types of things, whether it was hitting the Dougies, stinky leg, doing a little, what you going? Like whatever, everybody got their own little personal emote. Ty goes up on stage and she's so excited. She hits a full split. However, she was very covered up. She had a long dress and she had on the graduation gown. Fully covered. You didn't see nothing. You ain't even see a piece of leg. But she hit that split and she was smiling. Everybody, the crowd was going crazy for her. Like, while on stage, after she hit that split, they denied giving her diploma. And they escorted her out of the ceremony. So she couldn't even stay for the rest of the ceremony or anything. Literally took her complete moment away from her. Yeah, when I first saw the video, I was like, that is a little too much. But I don't think it was bad though. Like I said, she was fully covered. You didn't see no skin. Also, it gave like cheerleader split. It didn't give grown, but it just caught me off guard. I was just like, okay, girl. But for y'all to kick her out of her ceremony and deny this girl her diploma, I feel like that was a little too harsh of a consequence. Like, she's at graduation, she's getting ready to leave. Like, that's it. Like, I don't know. I feel like it was a little too dramatic. But now she's speaking out about it and she's trying to figure out why all of that happened. Of course, it was embarrassing. She felt like her moment was taken away from her. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation. Do y'all think that it was a little too much and she deserved to be escorted out? Or do y'all think that they was just dragging it like always?
We have a subset of our community that just hates accountability. They hate it with a passion. Any amount of accountability or consequence for your actions, they're gonna cry foul. They're gonna act as though, oh, it's just too much. You're just doing too much. It's just too harsh. Just do you. Because they don't ever want to deal with consequences for their choices. They're always going to chirp, chirp, chirp when it comes to the consequences because they never actually want to deal with them. They want you to just clap, cheer, support all of their BS, all of their nonsense, when in reality, what we should be doing is ostracizing, okay? If you want to behave like a degenerate, go take your ass somewhere else. You are no longer invited to the cookout. You are no longer invited because you're just gonna ghettoify the place. You're just gonna hoe up the place. You're just gonna stupefy the place. And nobody has time for that.
Finally, finished with all my homework. I don't know what I learned, but I know I'm done learning.
People in the video were saying, you know, it would have been cool with a split.
Yes.
You did a little split, a little twerk, little booty pop. Any regrets?
No, I do not have any regrets. Honestly, I didn't think it was a twerk. In my opinion, I thought I was just doing a split, but I apologize to anyone who thought it was inappropriate, and I am truly sorry. But I have no regrets at the same time.
The fact that the crowd shouted and cheered it on as much as they did just lets me know the culture we have cultivated as the Black community is toxic. There is no way in hell that all those Black folks in that audience were sitting there cheering on a literal child, almost adult, maybe fresh adult, shaking her butt in such a way at a graduation, at a formal event. That is disturbing. The fact that everybody was cheering it on just lets you know that this type of degeneracy is not only accepted, it's celebrated. This type of ratchet behavior is celebrated in these type of spaces. And then we wonder why we can't get ahead in society. It's because enough of us behave this way. Enough of us celebrate this type of degenerate behavior. Enough of us are folks you can't take anywhere. It's baffling to me how we can cry foul. Oh my God, you guys judge us so harshly. Oh my God. But then this is how we behave. This is what we celebrate. We are supposed to be here to acknowledge your accomplishment as an educated young lady, not as a Magic City 304. That is not at all what the purpose is of a high school, okay, mind you, not college, high school graduation. Even if this was at a college, it would still be degenerate. It would still be disgusting. And it just goes to show that just because you graduate high school doesn't mean you're educated. Doesn't mean you really got stuff going on upstairs. I mean, the lights, they're just not on. Let's keep it so for real. Even just listen to this little heifer talk, I could just tell it's nothing but birds chirp, chirp, chirping upstairs. If we as a people want to be taken seriously, if we as Black women want to be taken seriously, then when we are in spaces where you are supposed to conduct yourself in a professional manner, we need to be on our P's and Q's. That's why I can't stand a Jasmine Crockett, because she brought all that ratchetness into the office. No, you hold that office being a pillar of professionalism. You don't have to sister girl it up. You don't have to ghettoify it to make it blackety black. Like, you don't have to do that. You being a black woman in that position is already enough. You don't have to speak like this and do all that stuff to reinforce the fact that a black woman has that position. But y'all, I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts down below. How do you feel about this whole situation? Do you agree with me where it's like, yeah, going out there, popping your thought pocket in the middle of the dang blasted stage was completely inappropriate, and yes, she should have to do some sort of community service to atone for that behavior? Or do you disagree with me where it's like,
I can do what I want, I'll do what I want, whatever, I'll do what I want.
I am curious to hear you guys' thoughts. If you like the video, like the video. The more you interact with it, the more it gets pushed out into the algorithm. Also, hype the video if that's for you. If you're feeling a little extra generous, the link is in the description to buy your girl a coffee. Thank you guys so much, and I will see y'all with the next one. Deuces.